is that Hong Kong people are too, in a sense, are too snobbish to do this, because we actually we
Are you speaking for yourself, Dutch Chan?
we inherit a lot of so-called the idea of British gentlemanship after the 150 years, one and a half century of British colonial rule. So the Hong Kong people are very too lofty to be in the street and doing this kind of violence. So we don't have any violent situation in our political campaign.
But just sitting completely quietly and passively in the street, that's not violent, is it?
Yes, but this is a kind of very tense situation which can degenerate into violence. So the only scenario that comes the closest to happening on this scale is the 2003 July the 1st mass demonstration of the 500,000 people.
That's right.
At that time, at some transient stage, someone is suggesting we just sit all over the Queen's Road East, Queen's Road Central, and then until the government headquarters. Someone is suggesting this, but it never materialized.
Because that demonstration was lawful, wasn't it? No one was arrested during that
lawful, but the scale is totally unimagined before by the government and the police. So if just the sheer scale of a demonstration can make a situation totally out of imagination. That means if you have 500,000 people sitting there, then it becomes a very explosive situation.
That's right. Yeah, if they do sit there without moving. I think that the one comparison demonstration that has happened in Hong Kong was during the WTO, the South Korean farmers actually, and that was the one situation. You remember on that occasion, literally the protesters just decided to occupy the main road in Wan Chai and just sat there. But that was ruled by a court of law in Hong Kong as lawful, because you remember that they were taken to court, a few of them.
No, it's ruled that the police taking them is unlawful, because the police are not taking them according to the stipulation of the law. That means they have to warn them first before they take, for example, but they never warn them. They just came in and take by force, and that makes the situation very, very awkward. So, but it's not that they sit there as lawful, but because these are expatriates, and then also the government is well prepared for their demonstration like this, so they practically evacuate the whole North Wan Chai area away. So there is nobody there, so they are not obstructing anybody. That's why it's a kind of political kind of a demonstration standoff. So the government, the police is moving cautiously whether to dispel them, because obviously the government, especially the police at that stage, was not confident they have the so-called the practical skill to move these very so-called well experienced, very militant demonstrators, expatriate demonstrators.
Obviously, you've got to make a big distinction between the demonstrators who are completely peaceful, just sitting there passively in the road, and obviously those who might be a bit more violent and might actually be throwing stuff.
There's something I want to draw a distinction between Hong Kong's demonstrators and Thailand's. Maybe in a sense Hong Kong's demonstrator is going to the other extreme, too peaceful. That means they never show up some of their so-called political source with a minimum degree of violence. They shine away from it's absolute non-violence for them. But for the Thailand demonstration, what I was persuaded by the article that there are some so-called secret bureaucratic support for them. That's why they can be so violent and so unruly.
Because again, in Thailand, even within that situation, the majority of protesters were peaceful. But again, there was an element of people who are being violent. And you often get that in different protest movements. And in terms of in Hong Kong, the point I'm making is it would be a big mistake to do any kind of violent act, or which would be seen as aggressive. I think
we are coming close. Yes,
but what I'm saying, it is possible to slightly change the style of demonstrations here, but whilst maintaining a completely peaceful and completely lawful demonstration.
I think that's why the legislator Wong Yuk Man, he's throwing the banana. Why it caused such a stir in the whole society in terms of discussion and controversy? I think it's because of this tacit understanding of absolute non-violence in our political scene that some of the people, I should say, legitimately think that maybe Yuk Man has crossed a bit the threshold, this very delicate threshold. Of producing something which is not yet, but close to violence, right? Now, what I want to, I basically agree with Yuk Man's tactics, because I'm on the same party, to declare my interest. But I think the present situation in Hong Kong is a bit kind of subtly explosive. That means the rich and poor gap continue to widen, and then now come the financial tsunami. So because of financial tsunami and the continued oppression of the poor, there's gathering lots of undercurrent violence among the low caste people, maybe. And that's why you see the taxi drivers, right? On such a small score of injustice, they come out and then jam the airport highway. Okay. Now this is showing that this is quite a dangerous situation. The government must take notice, and then they must do something about it. Yeah.
Because with that one, I think it is important to clarify that, like the taxi drivers, they were not actually being violent. You couldn't use it. They might have been. The demonstration might have been a bit aggressive, but it wasn't actually violent.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I know. That's why I say we are just on the threshold.
Yeah.
The threshold is. There are certainly something that cause disruptions, and really serious disruptions. But this kind of serious disruptions signify something more severe, more grave situation underneath. That means the taxi drivers are after 10 years of so-called low income, harsh working condition, all sorts of things. They are coming to their limit. They are coming to their limit now, so they have to produce something in order to capture the public attention.
I mean, they obviously felt, the taxi drivers, they obviously felt that they could do it as well. They are not a political party, and I'm sure a political party would think more carefully about it.
Taxi driver in Hong Kong has a long tradition of doing this.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the vehicle to do it. Literally, they've actually got the vehicle which can block, 20 or 30 taxis who've got the vehicle to block the road. I mean, they've actually got the means to do it, and not many other social group has got the vehicle to do it.
Yes.
But I mean, it's interesting that the media did make a big deal of that. But I can tell you now, I bet you, since those demonstrations, there was obviously some lot of discussion within the government, and it helped sort out the problem, and the taxi drivers, that demonstration, in that regard, it was effective. It forced the government to listen, and I think other activist groups and social groups, could think of slightly changing the style of demonstration, to make it more effective, whilst making sure it is lawful. And I want to emphasise on the radio that I'm completely supporting only lawful demonstrations.
It helps to remind you that the League of Social Democrats, two of our members, actually has done something similar in the East Cross Harbour Tunnel.
Long hair.
Just one or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? They were taken to court on that score too, right? Because of obstruction of the traffic.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. That was just a few members who did that. And
so Matt, you are the one. You ran on the race cross. The crime was Ching Ma Bridge.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, as sort of you